Come back to get it, and then waltzes past two, and thumps the left foot. They are unbelievably smooth in their movement. This is Maradona, and he gets the ball through. Canija!
Hi there. A lovely good morning, good afternoon, good evening to you. Thanks for tuning in once again to Ralph on VAR, where football's biggest moment goes under review. On this channel, we do pre-game analysis, post-game analysis. We talk about match conferences that some of the coaches and then the players do talk about before the games. We also look at the fans' reactions to results. We also do some predictions. Sometimes we do get them right. Some on other days too, we don't get them right. But that is football for you. And in the previous content, we did look at match week 18 of the Premier League, where some of the results were not too good for some of the fans, especially Chelsea fans, because they had their team on the losing side. But other teams and their fans were rejoicing during match week 18. So before we go into what we have for you in this episode, if you want to send money back home to family, friends, and relatives, I'm going to recommend Lemfi for you. Yes, use Lemfi, which is the quickest and then the fastest and then the safest way of sending money to family, friends if you are in abroad. Yes, use Lemfi and then use my promo code RAFSJ for you. RAF, the spelling is RAPHSJ4 as in the number 4 and then U as in the alphabet U umbrella. So use my promo code RAFSJ for you to send money, and you're going to get $20 cash back whenever you send $100 and above to your family, friends, and then relatives back home once you are in abroad. Okay, so we have limited time. Yes, we are quickly going to delve into some of the results that happened in match week 18. As you all know, most of the leagues are on break, apart from the English League, the Championship, and then I think the Serie A is also ongoing. AC Milan did win yesterday. Goals courtesy Christopher Nkunku and then Christian Pulisic, who are former Chelsea lads who are racking up the results for AC Milan. But unfortunately for Chelsea, they are rather finding it difficult to score goals in the Premier League. So some quick results, and then we delve into match week 19 of the Premier League. So yesterday there was the Crystal Palace and then Tottenham Hotspur game, where Tottenham Hotspur were able to win that game by a lone goal, courtesy Archie Gray. Yes, I think Archie Gray scored the only goal in that game. So it was a London derby, and I did predict that game will probably end in a draw. But unfortunately for Crystal Palace, yes, the fatigue that they had in the previous game, that was in the EFL Cup, where they did play Arsenal and it went into penalties. So I think they took that fatigue into this game, and then they didn't have so much energy. Even though I couldn't watch, I think that because there wasn't so much energy for them to go into this game, and back-to-back games like this is going to be a problem, especially when they are going to play again in match week 90. So they lost that game to Tottenham Hotspur. Kudos to Tottenham Hotspur, who were able to get the result in there. Sunderland drew 1-1 to Leeds United. So in that game too, I did predict a win for Sunderland, because both teams are just teams that are returning from the Championship. And when you look at the current form of Sunderland, they are doing so well. Currently, they sit on the 6th or 7th position of the Premier League. So I thought that based on that form, they will be able to get the results against Leeds United. But unfortunately, they shared the points between the two of them. And Ballard, who is a rock in the defense for them, is doubtful for the game coming in match week 19. So there was a draw in that game. And then also Chelsea lost to Aston Villa, which I did predict Chelsea to win, but unfortunately they were not able to get the results in that game. So Chelsea lost by 2-1. They just played like the game they played against Newcastle, where in the first half they went to bed, and then the second half they did incredibly well. So they won one half of the game. There's the same thing that happened in the game against Aston Villa. In the first half, if you look at the XG for Chelsea, it was very high, but they were able to score just one goal. And then in the second half, they went to bed. I don't know what the problem is, but I think Enzo Maresca should do a reality check of himself. Sometimes some of the decisions that he's taking is not helping the team, and it's not going to help him in the long run. Because I don't know why you bench Fofana and then have Badiashi starting ahead of him. even if you think that there are more games to come, there's a game coming happening tomorrow, and then afterwards on the weekend there's going to be another game. At least there are other defenders on the bench, someone like a champion who has proven that whenever you give him the chance, he can show you that he has the capabilities to marshal the defense for you. But for some reason, Enzo Maresca decided to bench a champion and rather play Badiashi, and I think that was one of the reasons why Chelsea lost. The ball recoveries was not there for Badiashi. Some of the wingers also for Chelsea were not doing so well. They weren't tracking back. Someone like Alejandro Garnacho and then Gittins, who came in later on, they weren't tracking back. And I don't even know why he took off Marc Cucurella in that game. I think Cucurella was doing so well. I don't know the reason why. When I looked at the pre-match conference for the match week 19, which is the game against Bournemouth, it's saying that Cucurella is doubtful for the game. Even if it's injury, I don't see why you should bring in Malo Gusto, who is right-footed, to come and play at the left side of defense. I think that was a wrong call for Enzo Maresca and then the rest of the technical team. So they should do better going forward. Sometimes I know, yes, he learned from Pep Guardiola, so he tries to overthink things, do things that are overboard. But as a coach, if you look at coaches like Jose Mourinho, coaches like Xavi Alonso, currently you look at coaches like Sean Dyche and co. They do the simple things and then they get the results. They don't overthink. They don't play players out of position. And this current crop of coaches like Enzo Maresca, Mikel Arteta and co, they are always overthinking and then they are playing players out of position, try to come out with new systems. Yes, I know the game is evolving, but sometimes if you overthink, that's what happens. So yeah, Chelsea lost the game, and as a Chelsea fan, I was so furious. But life goes on. We just hope that they are able to win the next game against Bournemouth. And there was also the Arsenal against Brighton game, which I did predict Arsenal to win by a close margin, even though in my heart, yes, as a football fan who loves banter, I was just praying that they do lose that game. But unfortunately, unfortunately, they were able to win that game. Brentford walloped Bournemouth by 4 goals to 1, and okay, so Bournemouth are experiencing a crisis now. Even though Antoine Semenyo is banging in the goals for them, he was able to get the only goal for Bournemouth in that game. But unfortunately for them, they couldn't get the results in that game. There was also Burnley drawing at home to Everton, which I did expect David Moyes to get the result in that game, but unfortunately they weren't able to get the result. But they shared the points in that game. Liverpool beating Wolves. It's not a strange result. Yes, I expected Liverpool to do beat Wolves. And then there is also West Ham United playing at home to Fulham, which was also a London derby, and the result went in favor of Fulham, who were able to get a single goal in that game and winning the game. And there was also Manchester City, who I did predict to win the game against Nottingham Forest, because they were chasing Arsenal, so they needed the result to keep up the chase on Arsenal. And the game that preceded all the games in match week 18 was the Manchester United versus Newcastle game, where Patrick Dogu scored the only goal in that game, which came early in the first half, and Manchester United were able to get the result against Newcastle United. So on the league standings, you still have Arsenal leading on top. You do have Manchester City coming in second, Aston Villa. Now Liverpool has leapfrogged Chelsea. They are fourth on the table. Chelsea are fifth with 29 points, same points as Manchester United, and Sunderland follow in that order. Okay, so let's look at the games that are going to happen tomorrow in match week 18. Sorry, in match week 19 of the Premier League. We do have interesting games coming up. So this is going to be after this game. It means that we have played at least half of the games that are expected to be played in the Premier League this season. So we have 38 games, and with 19 games being played, it means that we have played at least half of the games. But that doesn't mean that each team has faced each other. So you have Chelsea playing Bournemouth. They have already played Bournemouth. So that means that there's one team that Chelsea has not played. That's what it tells me. All right. So you have Burnley playing at home. That's going to be the first game. tomorrow. Burnley playing at home to Newcastle United. Newcastle United are very bad whenever they travel this season. When you look at their records, um, they 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 are only doing good whenever they are playing at home. But traveling away from home has been a torrid time for them, and they are playing Burnley away from home, who with Scott Parker at the helm of affairs is also struggling for his life, trying to survive in the Premier League. So I don't really know how that game is going to go with Newcastle suffering or playing away from home. But with Burnley playing at home, maybe they'll try to at least salvage a point in that game. So if I am to stick my neck out, I'm going to go for either a win or a draw for Burnley, because Newcastle are very poor whenever they are playing away from home. Even though they are a good team, but playing away from home is a struggle for them. Chelsea are playing at home to AFC Bournemouth, and I watched the pre-match conference where Enzo Maresca made mention of Rhys James, and then um, Rhys James and Cole Palmer being doubtful for the game tomorrow against AFC Bournemouth. And I listened to that and I'm like, oh gosh, even with Rhys James and then Cole Palmer, we are struggling because Cole Palmer just returned back from injury and he's trying to find his feet. And if we are going to miss these two players, then there's no way Chelsea is going to even get a draw against Bournemouth. So you look at the current crop of Chelsea players, as I did mention earlier on, Alejandro Garnacho is not tracking back the forwards. Pedro Neto, I think that Enzo Maresca prefers him over Esteval simply because of his defensive his he the way he helps defensively. He contributes to the team defensively. So he's, even though he is an attacker, or even though he's a winger, he tracks back to help the defense. But when you look at someone like Alejandro Garnacho, he doesn't he's always up front. He doesn't track back to support Marco Correa, and that's a major problem. I think that for Enzo Maresca, it's high time he takes some of the tough decisions. Yes, I think personally he should move Pedro Neto to the left and start playing Estaval, because the young chap has showed us he has the capabilities when he's given the chance. I know, yes, playing in Brazil and then playing in Europe is a different ball game altogether. But if you are not giving him the chance, I don't think the young chap is going to show you what he has in him. So it's high time Enzo Maresca starts playing Pedro Neto on the left, Estaval on the right, and then Cole Palmer plays in the middle of the park as with a free role position. So looking at this current Chelsea team, one of the biggest improvements is from the back. That is the goalkeeper Sanchez. Had it not been Sanchez, Chelsea would have lost by a bigger margin to Aston Villa, but he was able to pull out some saves that at least gave Chelsea, should I say, a respectful loss to Aston Villa. So if Chelsea are not going to have Cole Palmer, Rhys James, and also on the FPL app, I'm seeing Marco Correa being doubtful for this game, then there's no way Chelsea is going to win this game against AFC Bournemouth. Yes, I'm a Chelsea fan, but let me be honest to you. I don't see Chelsea winning or even getting a draw. Looking at the form in which Antoine Semenyo is in now, with 9 goals so far this season, if I am to predict, I think Bournemouth are going to beat Chelsea at home. Yes, that's how it's looking like. Unless these 3 players are able to play, and then Enzo Maresca plays the players in their right position. We want to see Wesley Fofana and also Chaloba in the heart of defense. We don't want to see Badiashi. We don't want to see Tosin. Those guys, I don't know the adjective or the word to even use for them. So I'll just move forward, and then let's look at Nottingham Forest, Sean Dyche playing against David Moyes. These are um, pragmatic coaches who are going to face each other. I think this game is going to end in a draw. There's also West Ham United playing at home to at the London Olympic Stadium, facing Brighton and Hove Albion. So Brighton and Hove Albion did lose to Arsenal during the weekend, and facing Nuno Espirito Santo, who also lost to Fulham. This is going to be a very difficult encounter. I'm going to go for a straight draw. Yes, nothing much to say. Arsenal, yes, the team of the moment, on top of the league with 42 points, I think, playing against the Aston Villa, who are third on the spot. So if you look at the record between these two teams during their past 5 meetings, Aston Villa have been able to win 3 against Arsenal, draw 1, and then lose 1. That tells you that's a very good team. They have a very good record against Arsenal in the past 5 games. And overall, Aston Villa has won their last 11 games in all competitions. In the process, they have beaten Chelsea, they have beaten Arsenal, they have beaten Manchester United, and I think they have beaten Manchester City as well. So Unai Emery is doing a very good job. He's trying to prove to, I don't know who he wants to prove to, but maybe to Arsenal because they sacked him. He was doing a very good job there. Then for reasons best known to the Arsenal board, that then they did sack him and they brought in the current coach Mikel Arteta. So he's doing a very good job. And Arsenal's only loss in the last few games was against Mikel Arteta, was against Unai Emery's Aston Villa. Aston Villa, unfortunately, are going to miss Kamara and then Matty Cash. Matty Cash is very good in the left back. Is it left back or right back position for them? And they are going to miss him in this game, and that's going to be a very big blow for Aston Villa. Arsenal still have a few injuries here and there, but overall they have a squad that is they have the squad in depth, and I don't think they should have problems with personnel playing or fielding in for them tomorrow. So this is going to be a very tough call. I don't really know how this game is going to depend on who really wants it. Yes, I think that Arsenal, yes, for now, they don't think about how they are playing or the style of play. It's all about getting the results. If you really want to win the league, it's not really going to be about the flamboyancy and then how beautiful you are playing, but it's going to be the end results. That's what is going to give you the win. And Unai Emery too, because of the history he has with Arsenal, I realize that whenever he faces Arsenal, he tries to do his possible best to get the results. So it's going to be a game where I cannot really call for a result, but it's going to depend on who really wants the game, who is really hungry for the game. And also individual brilliances will also count in this game. Players like Morgan Rogers for Aston Villa, players like Yuri Telemans for Aston Villa, players like Ebrechi Eze and Cole for Arsenal, and Saka. When they really have their game, then one of these teams will win. So I can't really call for a result in this game. Manchester United are playing at home at Old Trafford to Wolverhampton Wanderers, and they already beat Wolves, I think, this season. So this is a straight call for Manchester United. Wolves are languishing down there with, is it just a point or two, and I don't see any way they are going to stop Manchester United, especially looking at Manchester United in their previous game where they beat Newcastle United. So I don't know if what the fans have been saying has really now gone into the head of Ruben Amorim, but he was able to change his tactics this time around. His formation, I mean, he was able to change his formation this time around. He played with a 4-back system, Luke Shaw, and then Patrick Dogu on the flanks. Sorry, on the full-back position, and he got the results. He kept a clean sheet as well with the return of Lisandro Martinez. So if he's going to maintain that formation and that system, it's going to help Manchester United. So a straight win for Manchester United. Wolves cannot stop Manchester United in any way. Crystal Palace are playing at home to Fulham. Yes, Crystal Palace back to back. How many? I think 3 or 4 games in the past 9 days, and that's really going to be telling on the team. So with all these games being played for Crystal Palace, with Fulham having limited games because they didn't play in the EFL Cup, I think Fulham is going to win this game by a close call because it is also a London derby. And you have Liverpool playing Leeds United. I think Leeds United beat Liverpool earlier this season. I can't recall the result, the exact results of the game, but they did win against Liverpool, and Liverpool will be coming in with a mindset of a revenge this time around to get a result. So Liverpool win for me in that game. There's Brentford playing at home to Tottenham Hotspur. So Thomas Frank returning to his stomping ground in the past. Yes, he's going back to Brentford, and I don't know how this game is going to go as well, but I'll go for a straight draw, yeah, between the two teams. And finally, there's Sunderland playing against Manchester United. So Ballard is in the heart of defense for Sunderland, and he's doubtful for this game. So if Ballard is going to be missing, it's going to be very difficult for Sunderland playing against Manchester City, even though they are playing at the Stadium of Light. And Manchester City, because they are chasing us now, they want to keep getting the results, keep grinding the win, so that the moment Arsenal slips, they can overtake them. And especially since Arsenal is playing before them, Arsenal is playing on the 30th, which is tomorrow, and then Manchester City is playing on they are playing. Sorry, yes, Manchester City is playing later. They are playing on the first. Yes, on New Year's Day they are playing on the first. If Arsenal slips, Manchester City is just going to take that opportunity to overtake Arsenal. So that's it for the match week 19. The games that we have for you, the games that are going to happen in the Premier League. We are looking forward to them. If you're a Chelsea fan, I don't think you'll be even looking forward to, like me, I'm not really looking forward to match week 19 because of some of the injury scares that we have and how stubborn Enzo Maresca has been in the past few games this season, playing players out of position, making some weird changes that sometimes doesn't really make sense. You'll not even be looking forward to match week 18. But we are football fans. Win, lose, or draw, football is what we live for. We enjoy the game and we are always there to watch. So thank you for watching once again. This is Ralph on VAR, where football's biggest moment goes under review. All I want you to do is kindly like, subscribe, and then share this channel to your family, friends, and then relatives so that we can grow up this channel. Catch you on the next episode. Thanks for watching.